Good afternoon. Today, my presentation is captioned Gun Laws and Why We Need Stricter Regulations. I want you to take a moment and imagine this. You woke up, sent your child to school, and you go about your day. But a few hours later, you received a call that there has been a shooting. You rush to the school only to find chaos, police tape, and flashing lights, and then the unthinkable news your child is gone. This may sound like a nightmare, but for too many parents in America, this is a heartbreaking reality. Gun violence in the United States has reached a crisis point, and yet we continue to argue and people continue to die. I am here today to persuade you that stricter gun laws are urgently needed, not to take away anyone's rights, but to protect lives, reduce violence, and make our communities safer for everyone. According to the CDC, every year in the United States, over 40,000 people die due to gun incidents. This includes mass shootings, domestic violence, suicides, accidental shootings, and gang related crimes. That's more than 100 people per day. Even more shocking, guns have become the number one cause of death among children and teenagers in this country, surpassing car accidents. This is not the case in any other developed country. And yet, we have the loosest gun laws in the world. How can we claim to be a safe, civilized society while allowing this level of violence to continue? One major reason for this crisis is our weak and inconsistent gun laws. In many states, you can buy a semi automatic rifle more easily than you can access a driver's license. Some people argue that we already have background checks, but here's the truth there are huge loopholes. Private gun sales, online purchases, and gun shows often do not require background checks at all. That means someone with a criminal record, a history of domestic violence, or serious mental illnesses can still legally purchase a gun. Take the example of the Uvalde shooter in Texas. He legally purchased two semi automatic rifles just days after turning 18. The result? 19 innocent children and two teachers lost their lives. When you allow deadly weapons to be so easily accessible, tragedies like these are bound to happen. Now, I am not saying we should ban all guns or take away them from responsible owners, but common sense reform can and they do work. Look at Australia. After a horrific mass shooting in 1996, the country passed strong gun laws, including a mandatory buyback of assault weapons and stricter licensing. In the years that followed, gun related deaths dropped by over 60%, and they have not had a single mass shooting since. Another example is Japan, which has some of the strictest gun laws in the world. They have a near zero gun rate death. You must go through multiple steps of background checks, mental health evaluations, trainings, and police interviews to own even a hunting rifle. These examples show us that gun violence isn't just part of life, it's something we can prevent if we have the will and the regulations to go with it. Whenever we talk about gun reform, people bring up the Second Amendment. And yes, I argue the right to bear arms is part of our Constitution. But even rights have reasonable limitations. We have the right to free speech, but we can't yell fire in a crowded theater. We have the right to drive cars, but we require to have license registration, insurance, and safety inspections. Why? Because driving is dangerous and the law holds us accountable. Why should guns, tools specifically designed to kill, be treated with any less care? Even the Supreme Court has stated that the Second Amendment doesn't mean unlimited access to any weapon, anytime, anywhere. It's about balance, protecting rights while also protecting lives. Here is something else the media often ignores. Most Americans, including gun owners, support stricter gun laws. According to a Pew Research Center poll in 2023, over 80% supported universal background checks, 60% supported banning assault weapons, and 50% supported red flag laws to remove guns from people who are a danger to themselves and to others. This is not a partisan issue, it is a human issue. People are tired of watching innocent lives being lost, destroyed, while politicians argue and they do nothing. So, what can we do? It starts with awareness, but it doesn't end there. Call on your elected officials. Demand that they support universal background checks, waiting periods, assault weapon bans, and red flag laws. Research where your candidates stand on gun safety and make your voices heard at the ballot boxes. Join groups, organizations like Every Tongue for Gun Safety, Moms Demand Action, and Sandy Hook Promise, to name a few. They are making real change, but they need our support. Have conversations, talk to friends, neighbors, and family members. Help them understand that we're not trying to take away guns, we're trying to protect people. Gun violence is not just a statistic, it is real, it is personal, and it is preventable. How many more innocent people must die before we act? How many more children must we bury before we say enough is enough? The time for thoughts and prayers has passed. Now is the time for action. Let us stand together, not as Republicans or Democrats, not as gun owners or non-gun owners, but as a people who care deeply about life, liberty, and safety. It is time for America to adopt stricter gun regulations to save lives, protect communities, and uphold responsibilities. Let us demand the stricter gun laws that we so desperately need today. Thank you.